No Pee Wee. We got championship coach Mookie in the building. And of course, we got Buffalo Bills defensive lineman Dwayne Carter in the building.
Hold on. My intro can't be better than Dwayne's intro. Like, and we got Dwayne Carter. Come on, man. We got Mr. Duke himself up in here. All right, number 90. Y'all know him. Y'all love him. All right. Pride of Ohio. You know what I mean? Pinkerton's finest. Dwayne Carter. What's up, my guy?
What's up, man? I appreciate you having me on.
That's how you give an intro. You gotta give an intro. He was just too cool with that intro. And we got Dwayne Carter.
I get it, dude. It's a lot of people here. I get it.
Oh, we got the Fina. John Fina's in the building. All right. Bill's legend right there. You know what I mean? Deion Dawkins definitely can learn some tips from that guy. You already know the vibes, right? But, we are here for Mafia Con. It's always a great turnout right here at the Seneca One building. First time my guys been here. Just tell us a little bit about just the atmosphere.
Yeah, so I got to experience Mafia Con last year, obviously my draft year for it being the first event. And it was dope, but I feel like we were on top of each other. So, I pulled up thinking the same thing this year, and I pull up to this beautiful building. I see all these people are so spread out. I see so many vendors I saw last year and got to meet throughout the year. And then, it's awesome. The vibes are great. And it's football season's here.
How's the city embrace you? You talk about being a Mafia Con, but this is your second year in Buffalo. You getting into the mix a little bit. You found any cool spots to eat or how the city treating you?
So it's funny. I think cool spots to eat must be like a Buffalo question, because anytime you talk to anybody, they ask you, where do you eat at, right? And everybody always got opinions. So I got to start with chicken wings. I've been to Barbell, I've been to Wingnuts, I've been to Duff's, I've been to somewhere else. Anchor Bar, I've been to I just keep going around. And I think I've landed on Barbell and Wingnuts as my go-to. And Wingnuts, actually, the owner of Wingnuts has ties to my hometown, funny enough. So his sister kind of lives close to my parents, about 5 minutes away, which is random how you find that out, right? So I eat a lot of chicken wings. I eat a lot of hibachi. I go to Fuji Grill all the time. And then I'm trying to think where else. Otherwise, honestly, I really see the facility.
Yeah, they feed them pretty good in the facilities. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Bills cafeteria, bar none, one of the best in the NFL. You know what I mean? And I'm not just saying that just because, but they definitely take good care of us. But
100%.
Dwayne, just tell us a little bit about your rookie season and an experience.
Yeah, let's talk ball. Thinking back to 2024, rookie year. So many blessings. I learned so much and got the opportunity to come in and be a part of Bills Mafia, right? And be on a winning team, a winning culture. And it hadn't always been that way. So to be around guys like Josh, Lano, D-Dog, Ed, all those guys have been there for the rebuild, right? And see what they built and come to a great culture under Coach McDermott, Bean, all those guys. It was awesome, right? So I knew I was coming to a good place, right? And then we fast forward to Rochester. We were at St. John Fisher. And the first day of practice, I ran out. It's like a freaking game. It was more people there, sometimes more than I had at my Duke games, honestly, at a practice, right? So I started building up over there, and then we get into the season, and it was a slow build for me. You get to, I started figuring out a little bit, started playing pretty well. Unfortunately, I ended up getting hurt week 7 or whatever it was against the Titans, and, adversity hit, and that was kind of it for me. But I also learned how to grow as a pro. Mentally, I grew physically as well, just being able to work in the weight room with, time off I had from my injury. And just, I'm just excited for what's to come this year.
All right, I want to take it back real quick because you just got done with your rookie season.
Yeah.
Did you have to do the talent show?
So we don't have a talent show, Coach McDermott is big, no hazing. We don't haze, we don't do anything. So if a rookie does something, it's all voluntary, right? So, I decided to get up and sing a song for the defense. And the song I sang was When I See You by Fantasia. That's kind of my go-to karaoke. That's what I do. Don't ask for a rendition today. I don't got it today. But that's what I did.
When I See You, Fantasia, and Love by what's Keisha Cole.
Oh, Keisha Cole. Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Oh, yeah,
Them the two.
For sure.
Keisha Cole and Fantasia. Those are the karaoke go-tos. I'm gonna have to join you on one of those things. But right now, this is Mafia Con. The Bill season is around the corner. I mean, just care to talk about. I mean, you had an incredible off season, a real wonderful off season, man. Care to talk about that? We're gonna say congratulations.
I appreciate it.
You know what I mean? But bro, yeah. What's more impressive about this is it's not even a high school sweetheart. Okay, this is a elementary school sweetheart.
8th grade.
I mean, from 13 to that. I mean, that's awesome. I'll never witness true love like that at 13 all the way up to now, bro. That's awesome, man. So, damn, I'm proud of you, proud of her, man. What's that like? That's truly marrying your best friend right there.
Yeah, it's a lot. So we did obviously from 8th grade through high school to college, now the pros when we ended up living together, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And starting off, I think our biggest challenge was when I went off to Duke and she went to school at Ohio University.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing about my wife, she doesn't miss games, she doesn't miss events, she doesn't miss that's just who she is. Funny I said today, but she's not here today, which is a rare one-off. But so she used to work 5 days a week and get off work on Friday and drive from Ohio to Durham, North Carolina, or wherever we play at, and she'd be at every game. Right, so that's the first time, all right, she likes me a little bit, And if you know anything about Duke football, from the first couple years I was there, we weren't very good. So you weren't really coming it was really just supporting me, along with my family as well. And then just there's so many signs throughout our life and throughout our story. I mean, that's my rock, that's my dog.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I put the ring on it, and we sealed the deal a couple weeks ago now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You were fresh a couple of weeks in. You and Josh, newlywed, and a few other Bills. I think, love is contagious. It's in the air now on Bills Mafia. Everybody's getting married. You know what I mean? So shout out to all the Bills players who tied the knot this offseason. Now let's talk about business. You did have your first camp, all right? So just tell us about that experience and what it was like to do something for your hometown.
Yeah, I think that's been a goal of mine since, I can remember. So in Pickerington, Ohio, I grew up K through 12. That's where I was my whole life. And I always said, I'm going to make it, I'm going to come back, I'm going to do a camp. So that's something I've been planning my whole life, right? So to be able, this year to have the support, to have the backing of the whole city, as well as my administration and my same football coaches are still there. So I think that's the coolest part about it, right? It's the coaches are like, all right, what can we help you out with for the camp? You have the field, you have access to the cones, the bags, whatever you need, it was never a question. So for me to go back and have the support of my mom holding it down, making all the camp bags and everything in the basement from literally, I have teachers, my mom's friends, my parents' friends, cousins, whoever you can think. It was just, everybody was there. I mean, it was one of the greatest days I had in a while. Outside the wedding. But, the wedding was great.
For sure. All right. So I think as Bills fans, we see the energy that you guys have, especially as a team. Y'all seem like y'all have great camaraderie. It seems like all of y'all, the locker room presence seems really, really cool.
Yeah.
Can you just tell us a little bit about that, how it is having teammates? And also, I want you to delve into the whole, TJ Sanders, Dwayne Carter, Ed Oliver, Joey Bosa, Greg Rousseau, this new look all defensive line, and how you feel you guys are going to be taking that step forward this year.
That's a good question. So I'll start with the culture. I kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, but it's just culture, when you're in a good place, right? It's a locker room with no egos. And, with the NFL, a lot of things can be selfish, at least what I'm heard from around the league, where guys are like, I'm going to get mine, I'm going to get my money, all I care about is me. And that's just the complete opposite. And obviously, we got a lot of guys that make a lot of money too. But also we got a lot of guys that are around, they give time, they invite you to their house, they invite you to eat with them, they invite you. It's just, it never was a question coming in as a rookie too. And it's all right, let me walk on eggshells. Let me not make anybody mad. Let me not, say the wrong thing or step out of line and do something that's too forward. It never felt like that in the locker room for us. And, in turn, I think that's why we able to play with so much energy, so much passion. And you talk about love for one another on the field, and I think it's evident in how we play the game. And, offense, they get to celebrate more than us. So you can kind of see it in all celebrations and everything else. But, defense is out there too, high five and dap each other up, gritting off the field, whatever you call it. It's just the energy is there. I think that's one of the coolest things because that's the system I came from at Duke.
So, no, with that being said, you're going into year 2, so you're not a rookie no more, but you see this new class coming in. So it's like you seeing them doing some of the things that you were doing now.
Yeah.
Like, what is that like now? Do they lean on you? Or are you like the catalyst now to guide these guys through that process?
Yeah, so it's funny. I mean, I'm talking to some of the young guys too. Like, I came into a room where, like, I think I was the youngest guy. Like, my draft class was younger than that by like 6 years. Now we all could have went to high school together. We could have went to middle school together. Like, so it's just funny how that works out. And obviously, I'm only going to year 2, so I don't claim to know a lot. But whatever I do know, whatever the older guys have taught me, I make sure, share it with them, as well as, if they ask me questions, and be an open door. Same thing, like, check my ego at the door, check whoever it is, because at the end of the day, we're coming together for one common goal, is to win the next game.
Absolutely. And, I see my guy Tim Graham in the building. I see my guy TG. It's always good that I got, my crew in here from the media. Shout out to you, TG. You know what I mean? And this is being brought to you by Reed's Tea. Make sure you go get some of that good tailgate tea. You heard? All right. So, it's not every time that a player get a chance to ask media questions. So, you got any questions for us or, fans?
Yeah, 100%. So let's start off let's start at the genesis of Bill's World. Start at the genesis, right?
Bill's World.
How did this come to be, and why are you guys so passionate about it?
Well,
question.
That's just what it is, man. We leave, breed, we love it. We get up in the morning and Mafia, right? With me, I'm an old guy, so it goes back to me when listening to it on radio. As a little boy, I couldn't afford to go to the games, but I listened to it on radio. And, we wasn't that good, but still that was, my team. And as older and older I got and more I paid attention to the team and the process and how they went about stuff, I learned the game. And, it was just good and refreshing that Bill Polian came and then things changed for Bill's Mafia. We went on a great run. We brought in the guy from Jim Kelly. It took a while, but he finally came to terms. We brought in a guy like Thurman and Bruce Smith and all that. We put the pieces together. And then, next thing you know, it was a frenzy. And here we are this day, kicking ass, So through and through, I've been born a Bills fan. I love it. It's just the community, really. Bill's World is all about community. Same thing that you see right now, So that's really what Bill's World is really all about.
So for me, as a lot of you know, I lost my father at the beginning of this month, and he introduced the game to me. He made me a diehard Bills fan, like to the core. I bleed red and blue, you know what I mean? And I was just a knowledgeable fan, just tweeting on Twitter. And this man here, he saw me. He gave me opportunity. He took me under his wing, and he gave me all the opportunities I had today. So, big shout out to Mookie Hawkins, of course. That's why I ride from the way I do. You know what I mean? So for me personally, it was just, I'm a passionate fan. You know what I mean? And I just happen to know a lot about the game. And so it just kind of was natural, you know what I mean? And then we worked so well together that, it is what it is, you know what I mean? So, Bill's World, we kind of started it back up this year. But, we got so many big plans that, it's about to be out of here real soon.
It's gonna be crazy, and I'd be remiss if I didn't shout out my guy SV the Don. You know what I mean? The original Bills World. We put this thing together. And, he's branched off. He's going to be on the network as well. We got his brother, Chris. They do this brothers podcast with the Sabres. And, Sean does a little bit of both, like tennis, back and forth. Bills, Sabres, right? So, that's how we doing that. And, Bills World, make sure y'all tune in. BFBN, man, we're going to have some great, exciting things coming up this year. More exclusive, more in-depth, with your favorite Buffalo Bills on our show. So make sure you check us out on YouTube. BFBN, make sure you go subscribe. Yeah, we giving away Bills jersey. May give away Dwayne Carter one. I don't know.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Look, I'd love to throw y'all a jersey, man. I think that's dope too. You talk about, I said the genesis, but it's the genesis, right? And it just makes you think of how you get to where you are. And especially in places like this, I reflect on a lot of things. And one, like, how did I get here, right? I mean, I played with a lot of talented guys in high school, coming up, whatever, and, a lot of people more talented than me. And then, I'm just blessed that a lot of things went in my way and a lot of favor. I'm a believer. So I always thank God, too, for a lot of things. And it's funny how a lot of things align even though they're not the same career path. But when you follow your passion, I think that's how things work out for us.
For sure, exactly. And for you to follow your passion and to be able to, put you in the league, I'm sure that's not a bad thing, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Speaking of, you talked about some of the guys that you came up with. You going into your second year now. Who are some of the guys on the team that you've been closer with, in your first year going into your second year?
Yeah, good question. So obviously everybody knows we're technically still an older team, kinda. And so a lot of our vets have been around. I mean, I talked about the D-Docs, the Joshes, the Eds, the DQs, the AJs, the Gregs. And it's funny because me and Greg are in the same age, but he's on like year 6 or 5. So it's funny how the NFL works. But I think, honestly, the closest mentor to me has been Daquan Jones. That's my dog from day one. Like, he's the one inviting us, over the house or out to eat or just, what are you doing? All right, come over here, hang out. All right, this is what I see of you on film. This is what I see here. And, there's some days you don't want to hear it. It's like a bigger brother, like an older brother. You don't want to hear that. But he's always trying to help. And, he always has my best interest at heart. So that's my dog. Like, I think we're close. And I think we're going to be close for a long time.
All right, so now you've been in the trenches a little bit here. So I'm quite sure you got you a nemesis right now. Who would that nemesis be? In short season, who is your nemesis? Like, I can't wait to see that guy again.
It's funny. So it's funny because like last year, if you guys were at camp last year, like me and Alec would probably wrestle or fight every single day. But it's funny because that's my dog. Like me and Alec, that's really my dog. Like we wrestle every day. So, it can change day to day, especially in camp. It's hot, it's long, and all we do is hit each other for 3 weeks straight or 4 weeks straight, whatever it is, until you even get to see another jersey. And you mix that on top of irritation, your body hurts. Like sometimes you don't really want to be out there. And then it just turns into a fight. So it could be a certain day. And, it's just football at the end of the day. And I think that's the most beautiful thing about it, too, because this team, like, we've had our brawls, we had our fights, but it stops since we walk back in the locker room. Like, everybody's cool. We laugh it off. Like, we sit with each other at lunch. There's never any, like, tension or beef. And I think that's a testament, too, to just how close we are.
Again, we want to send a big shout out to Damaris and Reed's T.
Yep.
Big shout out to Dale Reed and just Buffalo Fan Base Network. Every 26 shirts, all that. Thank you guys so much for having us. At Trainwreck, of course, my guy Zach over there, for sure. So, Dwayne, I got one more question for you. What are you expecting from yourself and from the team going into your second year? Because you came into a winning culture. This is new to us, because we had to go through some stuff. But, now we getting used to being a winning team, and you jumped right in at the perfect time. So what are you expecting from yourself and from the team in this next year?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I'll start team-wise. Just stay focused. I think everybody, we have our goal, and that's to be the best we can that day, right? Because everybody, of course, at the end of the picture is the Lombardi, the Super Bowl. That's, of course, every team says that at the beginning of the year, right? But it's a process thing, and I think we're a process-driven team as well. I'm a process-driven person. So if we don't come in and take, July 23rd is the first practice day. So if we don't come in there, handle our business, stretch out right, execute the plays, and try to be the best we can be that day, then how are we going to win that first game? You know what I'm saying? So it's taking it day by day, being where our feet are, right? And that just leads into me. At the end of the day, like I said, my season was kind of cut short last year because of my injury. And for me, it's just staying in my process, right? Being where my feet are at. And I think that's huge. And it's hard, in the NFL. There's so many outlets. There's media. You're on TV every day. And, we got Hard Knocks now. We got Hallmark. I'm in that Hallmark movie too. Make sure y'all check it out, man. But anyway, we got Hard Knocks. So it's just a lot of things and outside distractions that can happen. So I think it's just emphasis on being where my feet are, being process driven, trying to help this team win. At the end of the day, the goal is to go 1-0, 1-0, 1-0 each week, and then see where it takes you.
So are some of those things that you saying, are some of those things is what Coach Mark West is been saying out to you? What are some of those things that Coach West, say that you need to do to improve this season?
Yeah, 100%. Coach West is my guy. It's my dog. And then we got 2 more D-line coaches this year, too. We got Coach West, we got Coach Nielsen, and Coach Rebs. Rebs, I think, was here, I forget what year, but he was at Green Bay and came back to us this year. But, the whole emphasis is, right, staying in your process, right? So we're a fundamentally sound team. It's monotonous as that may sound, like how boring it can be, repetitive. Like, if you don't have a base, like if a building doesn't have a base, it'll eventually crumble.
Yeah.
You could have a good game maybe with bad fundamentals, but it's not sustainable, right? So building that foundation and sticking to my fundamentals and the basics. Because when maybe I'm having a bad day or a bad game or bad practice, and you don't have anything to fall back on, that's the problem, right? So it's just staying in your fundamentals, your process, and the rest will take care of itself.
Absolutely. And we hope everything will take care of itself if we can get to the promised land this year, get to that Super Bowl. But first, let's one game at a time. But, number one seed is definitely a major goal because that's the only thing left to accomplish that this team hasn't had on the quest of going to the Super Bowl. So, Dwayne, I appreciate you giving us your time. All these Bills fans right here at Mafia Con joining us on our show. Make sure you subscribe to YouTube channel, Buffalo Fanbase Network, BFBN. We're going to give you some exclusive stuff this year. You know what I mean? We're going to dive a little bit in depth. We're going to have Bills players on the couch with us this year.
Yep.
And, man, I'm excited. Dwayne's excited. Justice is excited. I know you're all excited. So make sure you tune in. Thank you very much. Shout out to Reese T.
Appreciate y'all, man.
My guy Pat on the ones and twos, train wreck, 26 shirts, and we out.